kick us off.
Have you caught your breath? That was a toughly earned victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a game that we thought was going to take place. You know, Gold Coast are in good form. They're hard to beat up here. They play a contested brand of footy. And all the games that were played up here in the last 3 or 4 years have been tight, and that's what we got. So I think it was a pretty exciting game of footy to be a part of, and one that you walk away with pretty pleased with the result.
What do you reckon was the difference in the end that got you over the line?
Oh, it's just our last quarter. You know, our ability in last quarters has been really strong, and that's been the case for the whole year. And we've got enormous belief in our physical capacity, but our ability to dominate the entry in the last quarter, we got the contest a bit better than what it had been for the rest of the game, and you know, the turnover game was strong for us in that quarter as well. So you know, our ability to put together a last quarter that's been pretty typical of our performances throughout the year is something we can grow off. You know, you build character off those type of wins, but it's starting to be a hallmark of our team, how we finish games off.
How'd you turn around that clearance or steady the clearance and contest numbers late in the match that seemed to be sort of going one way for quite a bit of it?
Yeah, look, obviously there's some things in the game and some levers that you can pull, and you know, certainly we did that as a coaching group because we needed to wrestle some momentum back in the game. You felt even at halftime, you felt that they had control of the game in some areas, you know, contest and summer stoppage was what those areas. But, you know, we felt pretty dominant in the turnover game for the majority of the night. So it's just one of those nights, if we could just shore up a little bit around the ball, the turnover game would hold up, and that's how it played out.
How do you think your forward line functioned? You were scoring quite easily, and a lot of that was off turnover in the first quarter particularly, and then you got a lot of re-entries in that second half and weren't able to quite put Gold Coast away. Yeah,
look, the conditions were different. You know, that's one thing. Early in the game it was, you know, pretty dry and free-flowing footy. Later in the game you could see it just turned into a real contest-based game, a lot of surge, forward momentum footy, and so it was a bit harder to score in that second half. But you know, we'll go away and have a look at our entries. You know, we've become a fairly efficient side, going inside 50 throughout this year. But tonight, the second half probably wasn't as efficient, but that's something we can tidy up.
You said obviously you were praising your last quarter, your strength of your last quarter. You must have been edgy. 30 seconds left, and they've got a shot to tie it. Yeah,
that's footy, isn't it? You know, yeah. You know, a scrappy ball comes out and they mark it on your chest. There's not much you can do about that. And then you're in the lap of the gods. And you know, Gold Coast, as I said, they're a good footy team. They're on the rise. They're playing some good footy, and they're a hard team to beat up here. And you know, they had a shot to tie the game. So you know, as I said, you walk away from these type of travels and trips and games and go, that's a pretty character building win for our footy club.
When it got tight there in the sort of late in the third, the midfield had to do some pretty good things to turn the tide. Can you sort of talk more about that battle, especially without Miller? The Suns found a way to match it with them.
Yeah, look, it was a real battle. You know, obviously Anderson and Rao had 20 clearances between them. They were pretty influential around the ball. We certainly rotated our mids a hell of a lot more, and I think in the end that was an advantage for us. You know, we spent a bit more time with Oliver and Petrarca off the ground to keep them fresh for the last quarter, and it paid dividends for us. You know, eventually we wanted to wear them down with personnel, numbers of people going through there, and we were able to do that.
And then Petrarca snap there was a pretty crucial one. That sort of shows the sort of guy he's, right?
Yeah,
he's
a pretty special player. You know, to have an impact like that late in the game. You know, he's a special player. But there were other players as well. You know, the act of Trent Rivers late in the game. You know, I thought he was very influential late in the game with his desperation, his acts, and his will to win. So I think it's not only the people that we go to straight away and the Petrarcas and the Olivers and these guys, but there were some other guys that were really influential for us. Yeah. All good. Thanks, guys.